All right, we're finally live. Okay. Hello, hello, everybody. How's it going? How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Now, I got everything set up here. I have my soldering iron, I got my microscope here, I got the soldering mat and everything. One thing I'm gonna have to do, though, probably very quickly, grab one of these paper towels. Start right away here. And gonna be grabbing some water. So I got some water right in the corner. It's off screen. Can't see it. Just grab it very carefully here. Hello, newbie edits 4. What's up, man? How's it going? I'll just like dump it in here. I'll like dump it in here kind of briefly. Sort of squeeze it out. Yeah, squeeze out the water. I just need a damp um, paper towel here for the soldering iron. But yeah, Бабака, добро пожаловать на стрим. Прямо сейчас у меня есть паяльник на верстаке. Прямо сейчас мы строим USB. We're going to be building a USB cable. Sorry for those who don't speak Russian. I am going to repeat what I said in English. But basically, I have a wet cloth here, right? I'm going to probably keep it like somewhere off to the side here. Wowzy Zowie. Я думал, что это была игра. Yeah, it's a camera. Это камера. Да. It's an actual setup. And you guys can hear me right. Like, pretty clearly, right? Overall. Here, I'm gonna just hook this up. Sorry if my head's in the way. I'm gonna hook this up. I got it all hooked up here. And I'm gonna clean it off probably for the first round. And also this. I have this available to you guys. Here, I'll show you very quickly. There you go. You can see exactly what's being sort of worked on here. Right in the corner. Is that big enough for you guys? Can you see it nice and clearly? I hope so. Anyways, it's going to get up to temperature. It's pretty hot already, actually. And I'm just going to clean it off here. Just going to... get all of that stuff off. What do you need the USB for? I don't know. I just thought it would be something fun to build, something to attempt to build. I'm not an expert, but I definitely have some soldering experience. And I thought it would just be fun to try and build a functional 2.0 USB, as you can see right in the image. So I've done this before and it semi-worked, but I want to try it again, just for the sake of trying. Now, I do have my mask here and my goggles, so I'm going to probably be putting those on very soon. I'm giving you guys sort of a POV. Just get this off. You know what? I might need to wrap this up a little bit. There's a little bit of stuff at the end here. I want to see if I can get that. Oops. Spilled a little bit of water on me. It's fine. Пока увидимся. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to coat this with a little bit of solder. Just do a little bit here. And hopefully that will sort of get the rest of this stuff off here. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it works. like a little bit. I'm gonna get my mask. I'm gonna put that on. Along with my goggles here. Don't want to get that stuff in my eyes, so. Something like this, right? In fact, I may need to put this on first. So if I'm not answering chat for a little bit, you probably know why. Let me see. No, wait. This goes in. This goes on differently. I think. Let me loosen this up a little bit. Come on. Yeah, these tabs are a little bit difficult sometimes to deal with. There we go. It's loosening. Do you know Brazilian? No, I don't. I do not know Portuguese. I think they speak Portuguese, right? If I'm not mistaken. I don't know Brazilian Portuguese. Basically, it goes on like this. I'm doing fine, Andre YTs. Basically, I'm gonna have this mask on, and I'm gonna be busy for a little bit. I might not be able to respond to questions, but feel free to watch and feel free to send me messages. I'll put those on. Now, how well can you guys hear me? How well? Is it okay, or is it kind of muffled? So this is what I have. This is gonna keep me safe for the most part. Very muffled, but we can kind of hear you. Okay, yeah, that's what I was kind of worried about, because this is pretty, like, this feels around my face. But here you go. I'm gonna come forward. I'm gonna kick probably some of these cables out of the way. We're gonna get working on this part here. Now, I don't know if I should use my left hand. Probably should. You guys can see that, right? Okay, cool. We're gonna readjust here. I have never tested this. This might work. Be careful. Yeah, I'll be careful. Thank you. So here you go. You can see the first layer there. There. It might be better if I do this.
It's been a while since I've done this. I don't know if you can see that very well. That didn't work. Exactly, I'm cooking. You see that? There we go. I'm gonna let that cool for a second. So, is USB easier than USB-C? So USB-C is a bit strange. It has way more connections, but you can get a PCB that reduces it to either the 3.0 spec or the 2.0 spec. By the way, is my voice audible? Is it clear? Is it understandable? Just wanted to check in. So let's see here. It's not amazing, but it's something.
So you guys can hear me now, right? How is that? Is that better? So to answer some of your questions, because it seems like I don't think anyone really heard me, but this is just USB 2.0. This is A. Anyone who's using C is a little bit more complicated. It has a lot of little traces, but you can get like a little board that like reduces those traces to like a couple of them. Yeah, much better. Okay, good, good. Because I was wondering if you guys couldn't hear me. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to basically not breathe in the fumes. I'm trying to protect myself as best I can. Uh, but as I said, it looks like my first attempt didn't look so well there. In fact, let me check here. Yeah, it's not perfect. It's not perfect for sure, but if I can move that around a little bit, it's what I did with the little not little endpoints here. I'll show you what I'm looking at working on in a second or two. But what I'm trying to do is avoid the two pins from contacting. So I have the 5 volt. I think it's a 5 volt VCC with the I think it's data negative pin there. You might see it. I think it says data negative. Just the two wires from crossing over. So here you go. Yeah, VCC and data negative. So those are the two ones that I'm trying to not overcross because they're very small. Where did you learn this? I took a class, a couple of classes, but and I've done this on my laptop. I fixed my laptop one time, but I haven't done it in a while, so I'm kind of warming up. But that joint doesn't look too bad. I'll show you what I'm looking at here. You guys could probably see it there. Yeah, it looks a little bit hot, but it's a little bit cooked, but it's the best I could do with the sort of setup that I have. If this doesn't work out, then we'll try it again. Don't worry. I'm just gonna put this back on. There we go. Hopefully that isn't too much. That's might be a little too much. But okay, might be a little too much. So there you go. You can check. Oops. Should be able to see that. Not perfect, but still looks all right for a first attempt. And by the way, if you're worried, I have multiple of these parts. They're easy to find. But here, I'll zoom in for you. That's what we're working with. Yeah, not amazing. It's easier on a PCB, I think. But doing it freestyle. And I'm going to set up the second wire here. In fact, sorry, let me reduce this. Hey, Dragon. I'm doing good. How are you? That's the really hard part, right? Is getting in between these wires and not crossing the solder joints. I think there's just too much solder there. There's too much solder on that one point there. Tired? I got you. Okay. All right. So you can see what I'm worried about here. I'll show you on the microscope. That's what I'm worried about. You see how these two wires are looking? Do you think that detects where the most energy is coming from? You mean like the multimeter? Like when I use the multimeter on a line? Because that's what you would use. The tool is like right up there, but I don't think we'll be testing that. I don't think we'll need to. We could though. I mean, I could plug it in and see if it works. But I'm gonna need to make this like smaller. In fact, I'm gonna turn this off here, and I'm probably just gonna go get the desoldering gun because there's just like way too many of it, too much of it. So I'll plug it in like this, and it's on. It's gonna warm up. All I have to do is create a little bit of a seal around it, and that's about it. Don't worry. Are you gonna edit this into a video? Could. I could do that if we're successful though. We might not. Like, there's total chance that we might fail at this. I've worked on motherboards, just not free wires. It's way easier to work on a motherboard. Yeah.
So this might not work.
So part of the issue with this, right, is when you have a desoldering gun like this, you have to create a seal around the solder joint, and then you press the button to suck the solder in. I don't think I can create a proper seal, but I'm going to try to heat it up for longer, see if I can get it to melt, and then try to suck it up. So,
I'm probably getting in the way.
BFD boy, hello. It's more just a fun project, actually, just so you know. But yeah, that didn't work. I'm going to put this down. Is this tangled? Yeah, no, it's fine. We're good. I think I might need to use something else. So I can't create a proper seal, so I'm going to probably use some wick. But basically, I'm practicing. Let's turn this on here. Didn't I say I was going to come back, though? I think you did. Was that the last stream? Because I said I was only going to be streaming for 2 hours on Minecraft. I'm going to probably get some of this. Yeah, the Minecraft one. Sorry about I was kind of distracted. Oh, no problem. No problem. I might need better wick, man. I think this wick is too small. Thank you, Andre. Appreciate it. Let me see. I don't. It's hard to get at this. We do a tour where you visit other countries. Oh, I'm not gonna do that, but okay. All right, that looks a little bit better. What I might want to get is some new nose pliers. So, assortment of this here. I think that's better. Yep. Here, I'll show you what I'm looking at. But essentially this. I had to like lower it a little bit. The amount of solder there. I'm gonna try to reapply it, warm it back up, and get it to, nicely cohese, so it's not a cold solder joint. There we go. Yeah, it's better. Here, have a look. It's easier if it's a little bit closer to me, so I can get that solder joint.
Not a lot of moisture here. Oops. There we go. That's pretty good.
My 1,000 sub special. I made a pizza on stream. Lol. Well, I tried to be unique, or somewhat unique. I guess do something unusual. Well, pizza's good, man. I love pizza. As I said, this could either go very horribly or very, very well. And, you just gotta take your time. Melon Prime Recreations, hello. And then what I'll probably do, I thought about this, is maybe I should get a hot. I don't really like the idea but I feel like it's better than nothing. And maybe just like, I don't know, putting some kind of like insulating material inside. Were you sad when Technoblade died? Yeah, I was. I was. It's really unfortunate, man. Like I was really sad. You know, cancer is, I mean, somewhat of the reason why I donate blood, or try to now on a regular basis, whenever I can. So, I mean, it's very, very awful. Yeah, I'm just checking here exactly how I could move this into position. For some reason, someone completely emptied my chest in Minecraft, the Minecraft server. Interesting. How did that happen? Was it an R server? Did you have your claim on? I think that's good. We're gonna see how well that works. Will you play Bendy and the Ink Machine? It's a good game, very popular in 2018. I think I heard of it. I think I did hear of it back then. I'm not sure though. I didn't because Cool Kid made a claim around his area based on I can't. All right, gotcha. There you go. That's what it looks like. Amazing. What are you doing, Cepheus? I'm building a USB cable if I can. It looks kind of effed up there, not gonna lie, on my first attempt. Right? And just so you guys know, like, look at that. Look, that's not great. That's not great. I think it looks worse on the camera, actually, than it probably does in person. But here, I'll lift it up for you a little bit, like, with an angle. And that's what we're working with. right there. Why are you wearing an atomic plant mask? There's nothing radioactive here? Well, these are not just used for atomic plants, I'll tell you that much. They're used for construction. I should have used the pliers, you know? Like low key. I should have used the pliers ahead of time. Let's see. There we go. Remove the green thing, please. Sorry about that. Actually, that was my bad. That's the microscope view, sorry. I didn't do much. Basically, I just took these tweezers here and twisted the wire around the end. But I'll show you what it looks like. Here. There you go. That's what I was doing. In fact, let me find it. There we go. That's what we're doing. Just bending that around. If you forgot, Bendy and the Ink Machine is a game where you play as Henry, a co of the Factor Joey Drew Studios. The Factor, and visit a workshop where he discover the Ink Machine. I'm having a tough time sort of understanding. Sorry. Explain technical process behind making these things. So basically, you want to avoid creating a cold solder joint. You want to avoid breathing in the fumes. So you either have a fume extractor, or you do a mask like I am, and then you eventually open the window and let everything out. I mean, technically, you should have a window open. Honestly, I wouldn't recommend this. You should get a fume extractor, but this is also enough, too. It's just a fume extractor is more convenient. It's probably easier to use and all that. And basically, maybe I should explain a little bit better. Once that joint is created, you got to make sure that there's no shorts between any of the other joints. Now, this is a cool feature. But basically, here it is. That's what it looks like. Looks a little bit mangled. Not bad for a first attempt. But I'm going to clean this off. And what I can do here is show you this. Let me see. Does this work? Oh, yeah. And then I can move around as such. And then maybe I can lower it a little bit there for you guys. How well can you guys see that, huh? I might need to pick this up, actually. That's what I'm working with. Can it focus? Maybe not. Maybe not so well. Don't have very, I'm working with limited equipment here. It's better? Yeah. You gotta learn somewhere. You gotta start somewhere. In fact, maybe if I turn off the harsh lights. Turn this off too. That's cooled down. That's good. It looks like you're trying to do a biological experiment with an insect on the main cam. Unfortunately, the main camera doesn't zoom in very, very well. I wish it did. Hey, that's what we're working with. What I'll do is this. I'll turn it to its side, and you may be able to see it. Oops. Might be able to see it. But yeah, that's why the microscope is a little bit better. Maybe if I shone... I don't have lights. I don't have good lighting. That's why I prefer to just use the microscope. There we go. That just gets a much better comprehensive image there. So let's, we could try plugging it in. Or plugging it into something. Could you overclock this? Probably not. No, it's just USB 2.0, man. It's limited in speeds. Speaking of stuff that I gotta get, I do have... I do have a USB cable I could grab. Where's this microscope camera? It's right here. Actually, you know, if I zoom out, is it very small? It's right there. So you see this thing here? It's a microscope. It's hooked up to the PC. And what I'm gonna try to do, right, is I might try to put some material in between and try to insulate it. That's even possible. We'll see. This might be too big, actually. I have a couple of pieces right here. You guys can see that? These little shrink wrap pieces. I might use those to insulate the wires. Now, technically, now that I look back on this, right, I feel like I made a mistake here. One, I'm just gonna do this for like our collective learning experience. I have this here. I feel like I should have had these like up up on the wire, like put it through before I soldered it on. And then once it was done, I should have slid it down over the individual wires. That's one thing I wish I did. You will succeed? Well, as long as we critically think and we learn from our mistakes, that's how we're gonna succeed together. You know? You gotta make mistakes. You gotta not be afraid to make mistakes every once in a while. But the reason why I'm saying this is because like if we put each individual wire on, we prevent a short circuit somewhere. Because all of these are exposed. So I'm just wondering how. Hmm. The only thing I could do is untangle it, right? I would have to unbraid this, and then we'd have to attach everything again. Or I don't know if this is gonna work. It probably won't work for this. Yeah. Let me see if I can put this. I want to stick this in between and use it as like an insulating material. I don't want to use hot glue because I've thought of that, right? Craft glue. I just don't think that would work very well. I've tried it before. It's broken. Craft glue breaks really easily. But what I can do is I can insulate the connection. This might seem weird. I can insulate it by doing this. You see what I've done here? See, like this, like put the little wrapping around it. This is a weird and terrible idea, but you know, we could try it. It is something that we could try. I raised my hand in school, and by mistake, I said to the teacher, and said if she played GTA 5. Well, that's a different type of mistake, my friend. Still, nonetheless, did you learn from it? Did you learn something? It might have not been a positive thing, but you must have learned something, right? So now I'm just thinking, what to do next. Never said it again. Well, there you go. You learned something. You gotta learn. You gotta learn it somehow, right? Like I've done stuff like that. I'm not kidding you. You just gotta be as positive as you can about it. Yeah. Okay. That's gonna be a little bit difficult then. Unless, what I could do is I could hold it like this. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing, but I'm just basically wrapping it around. How do you know so much about this stuff? By looking it up. There we go. So you see that? It's not very good. I'll give it that, but it's certainly better than nothing. So I have like these two joints wrapped up. Oh yeah, people have done this tons of times on live streams. You'd be surprised what people do on a live. Let me see if I can weave this in. Yeah, it's really difficult. There we go. Finally. Oh no, came out. Okay, let me turn this around a little bit. Just repair people's electronics and earn money at this point, maybe. I couldn't tell you how to. I'll tell you this much: I can't tell you how to diagnose the 19.5 the 19 or 19.5 volt power rail. On a laptop, like power delivery. I couldn't tell you how to do that. Don't know how to diagnose it. Man, that's so annoying. But you know what would have made our lives easier? Is threading every individual wire. We should have done that at the beginning. That's what would have made everything much cleaner to do. Man, man. Once we get around that one, we should be in the clear. They're just really hard to compress. That's one thing I've noticed. I don't know if doing this is going to do anything, but let's squish it flat enough. There we go. Oh, thank the Lord. We got one side through. I showed Speed and Kai CNAT playing Minecraft for the last 4 days nonstop. That's crazy. I couldn't do that. I couldn't play Minecraft nonstop like that. Dude, okay. That's what I'm working with here. Might be done in the next 10 days? Oh man. Dude, that would just be nuts. I don't know if I could do that. This doesn't sound very healthy if you ask me, but yeah. No. That is like actually the most frustrating thing I've seen, man. Very close. Don't you got a good gamer friend, Cepheus? Why don't you play with them? I do. I got some. So there we go. We got it. I just got it now. Took a while, but I did get it. Now you can see sort of what it looks like. Trying to cover as many joints as I can without breaking them. I don't know if you. Oh, there you go. You can see it now. That's what I'm looking at here. And my remote. Where did that go? USB might explode. Guess it could. I don't think it will though. Put that back around there. It's under this box. That's why. Oh, it goes in further. Okay, why wasn't that working before? That's actually interesting. What tools are you using here? Can you show them to me, please? You know what? I was thinking of actually linking them in the description, and I really should. But, I don't have the complete list on me. Sorry about that. Because there's a lot of things here. A lot of things. I'm gonna just try to push this down as hard as I can. You know what? I might not need to. Like, low key, I could probably just use one of these other things here. Put that aside. I do have them listed somewhere, though. What's the white image for? That's the pinout. That's the logical pinout. My USB. Man. There you go. Nicely done. What components are you using to make the USB? I bought them in a box. I bought them in a box that looks like this. It has all assortments of parts in it. Basically that. And now, what I can do, I can hold this like such. Get the other end. Sheathe this over. My PC catches 240 FPS sometimes. That's pretty good. I would say that's good. Back in the day when I had a computer, like when I was gaming, I was like, I think getting 25 to 30 FPS on my Dell XPS. Oh, I can't remember which one it was, but it was from 20. It was either 2009 or 2010. I think it was from 2010 or something. I don't know if I can fit this all in. Oh my goodness. I might need a bigger wire. Like, I might need bigger shrink wrap. I can't use this piece. I gotta have the biggest one here. Laptops back in the day used to be so good. Like, they used to be such great value. This is the dumbest idea I've ever done, but you know what? Whatever. We're gonna try it. We're gonna try it, see if it works. Oh man. Okay. That's what it looks like now. Again, I'm gonna come back to this probably and correct my mistakes. Because that's what we need to do, right? Uh, unplug this. Get my cable out. This is all sort of like tangled. I think this is this is cool now. This is fine. This can be moved out of the way, actually. This can be moved out of the way. Like, that's completely bone cold. As cold as bones can be. I'll put this here. How? Okay, this here, it's fine. Look at this. I'm touching it. Nothing's going on. Nothing's happening. It's fine as well. Just put this over here. I have like a little thing that I can sit on down there. Okay, that's pretty hot. I don't recommend doing that, by the way. Don't do what I just did here. Don't do that. That's pretty risky. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty hot. That's pretty hot. I think that melted the solder joints a little bit. Oops. Will you do a challenge in the future where you don't try to laugh at funny game memes? I might. I don't know. It's always an idea, right? It's always an idea. I just don't like the idea of React content though, because it's not really transformative. That makes any sense? It's not really a transformative medium. Speaking of transformative, do I where do I test this exactly? This is the wrong end of the USB. I would have to use the other end. So we got a couple ends to choose from. I have them right here, as you can see. I want to know which ones are probably the easiest to work with. It's probably the ones that are angled. That's interesting. Okay. So I'll show you what I'm looking at then. Here. I'll show you what I'm looking at. I don't know if this is going to look very well. But you see the little strands? Sorry. So you see the little strands that I put in between? Those will probably be better. Let me recenter this. And then zoom in and refocus. But those little strands I put in between should keep the solder joints apart. It's not a great fix. I'm going to do a new fix on the other end. Is it complete? No, it's not. It is 50% of the way done. Well, probably not really. More like 40%. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Very, very quickly. I'm going to take these little things. You can see it. Actually, right here. See? And I'll put them on the end. This will make sure that we can individually isolate the wires. So I'm going to take them apart. And I'll have them on each end like this. So you see that? Like so. Here, I'll show you what it looks like under here. Well, you see how I have like the individual windings here? These can be covered individually and isolate each point on the wire, right? That's what I should have done. That's just a better, smarter overall move, I think. And then what we can do is take these 4 points here, do this, like so. And I'm gonna make sure I dismount this end here. How long would it take? I don't know. Maybe an hour more or so. I'd have to sheath everything, and sheathing is not exactly easy, but we can test it before then. Maybe for North Korea, that'd be cool. I would be happy to have a viewer from North Korea. I want to know what it's like in there, man. So if I look at reference the diagram, In fact, let me just maybe I can just look at this pin out here. Would you clip the part where the USB and tested it? I have okay, so I have my doubts that it's gonna work this stream, right? Because this is more of a test run than anything, actually. In fact, let me look at USB pinout. USB pinout diagram. So I got a diagram here. We got okay. So red should be at the top. Red, white. It usually goes red, white, green, black. That's it. That's how it pins out onto the USB. There we go. I got it all attached. I got one wire attached. Here you go. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that very well. In fact, some of the other wires in the way. Hopefully that makes a little bit more sense. I'm going to refocus. That's what I'm working with. Okay. I don't know how cool this thing is. It's not very cool. That's fine. We can let it cool for a little bit. I'm gonna get my. Do this. There we go. All right. See you later, Lux Potato. I'm gonna get this all off, man. There's a lot of gunk. My solder iron, dude. See, this is the frustrating part, is trying to position it correctly while you also want to solder on that particular part, right? You want to show the viewers, but you also want to be able to see what you're working on yourself. Oh, damn, those are locked in. There you go. You guys can see that, right? Yep. I'm warming it up. I think it's better from here. All right.
Right. So there you go. There you have it.
Doesn't look too bad. That's a little bit better. So you see the improvement. You gain some skill over time. And now we can try the second one. So we'll do that very quickly. Is your keyboard made of rock? Because if that's true, she has competition with Nokia. Do you ever see those amazing what are they called? IBM typewriters. They can erase ink. I'm not kidding you. They don't patch it over with whiteout. They actually erase the ink. That I thought was really impressive, and they did it with this like special ball mounted object. Do you 3D print? Yes, I do. I do 3D print. I have the wrong one. I just realized. Wrong color. Yes, I have a 3D. I have a 3D printer. It's an old one though. Overall. So there we go. Oh, it came off. Of course. Of course. Yeah, came off again. You can see it right there. I have to work very diligently around this hot end. I think it should be fine to put away for the most part. That's not hot anymore. How are you so calm? Because I've done this before. I've done this many times, like in my own free time. But long time ago, though. Let me see here. That is not ideal. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me see. Just so we can get it into view for you. Not ideal. We're right there. It kind of allows me to grab at it, which is good. And then I'll bend the wire away so you guys can see. You know what? What's in my way here? It's a cable. Of course it is. Oh, of course. It's always a damn cable. And that's a solid solder joint there. I don't know how well you guys are able to see that, but we're just two people. Could you introduce us to your cat? It wouldn't be safe for him in here. I wouldn't want to bring him in here. It would be unsafe. That looks good. Uh, would you like to show him next Minecraft stream? I might. I might show him next Minecraft stream. I'll see you later. I have to work with these tiny little wires. I don't know how well you can see that, but there you go. I'm gonna refocus again. But that's basically what we're working with here. Ideally, you're supposed to warm up the pin before you do this. But I don't think I can really access it too well. Let me see. I'll try to do my best. Okay. See how well this works here. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There we go. Look at that. Oh, there we go. Nice. Not too bad. Could be better. Let's check this out. I need to see if I didn't cross. They look closer than they appear, but the connections are actually quite separate. Connections look pretty good. Hey, Andre YTs. What's up, man? Oh man, it's so hard to get this pin here. What happened after I leave for 5 minutes? Nothing much. We got a wire soldered. A wire soldered. Man, I can't pronounce words. But yeah, that's pretty much it so far. We got a couple of them soldered, and this is the last one. That's the last one there. I don't know how well you guys can see it. There you go. Trying my best here to keep things separate. You know the game Warframe? Yeah, I played it when it came out back in 2014. It's a good game. I mean, it was back then, but I don't know what it is like now. It seems like microtransaction hell, if you ask me. I just don't like that, man. I really wish they wouldn't do that. Like with video games overall. That was kind of bad. There you go. Turn that off. Might need to grab another one here. I think I know who took my stuff. I could run an inspect on it and see what happened. Oh man, that looks not so good. Oh, maybe it's just the lighting. I'm gonna move that out of the way. I'll give you guys a chance to sort of look at that. Might be hard to see. Looks a little bit difficult to see on my end. I don't have a very good setup for this. I really wish I did. If I had more resources, I would probably spend more time doing this and looking into how this stuff works. It says connecting to chat. Okay. Looks like everything's fine, all right. It's not that hard of a game? Is that what you're saying, Andre? Anywho, uh, I mean, that's that. Really. We've done everything that we really need to do, other than, I guess, use the what do they call it again? Can't believe I forgot. But yeah, uh, that's pretty much it. Hope you get famous someday. Thank you. I appreciate that. But I don't know what my chances are. But we're done. One of the things I did notice is that the soldering iron gets some of the wrap, and the wrap is sort of enclosed around the solder joint there. Hey, blue cheese, what's up? I'm doing this. I'm building a USB cable. Trying to, at least. This is my first run. I'm gonna try it again some other time in near future. I want to take all of this off here. Sort of give you a better visual of what's going on here. I don't know how well that will focus, but that's what we're working with. You made 300 subs in a month. That's good. Yeah, it is pretty good. So, let's see. I'm gonna do the same thing, or I don't know. Yo, bro, the stream just popped out randomly on my screen. What's up? Universal Official. I am doing a USB cable, or trying to. This is my first attempt. I just finished soldering. But welcome to the channel and welcome to the stream. This is what I've done so far. This is the first part. Or sorry, no, that's not the first part. This is the second part. This is the first part. This is what we sort of threw together in the small amount of time that we had. Well, not small amount of time, but small amount of space, really. So I'm gonna try to use the heating gun, get this all finished up, and test it out. See if it works. This is the first revision, by the way. What are you trying to do with the cable? I just want to see if I can, I don't know, just send data through it. See if I can solder well. I did soldering classes before on like simple like PCBs, you know, with like a 555 timer and like and some capacitors and resistors, but I haven't like, I don't know, really freehand soldered. I've done some like really easy stuff. Like one time I did a charger replacement on a laptop. That's one thing. And I'm trying to up my skills on stuff that's like a little bit more difficult. The only way that you can sort of get better at this is practice at the end of the day. What game was Peak, but you forgot his name? I never found it again. Oh man, I have one of those games. I did find it. I actually did eventually find it. But when I was a kid, I played Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. And that game was so fire. I played it on a PC when I was a kid. Like at the mall of all places. And I found it again and I played it on my PS3 a little bit. So put this aside. This oop oop oop. Gotta keep that out of the way. I'm gonna put this back down here. Played it too? Yeah, it's a great game. I didn't know it was a Tony Hawk game. I was very young. Like very, very young. Let's just take this out of the way for a quick second. Again, don't do this. Okay, that's working. put that there. I'm gonna get the tissues out of the way. I don't want anything to catch on fire. Of course. I don't think I got the entire thing. Yeah, I messed up here. 1 second. It's getting tangled around the cord here a little bit. That's fine. It's not the ideal place to be doing this, unfortunately. I would like to put some more time and money into building a better setup, which is what I'm going to be doing actually very soon. I don't know. Let's see how well this works. I have my doubts. We're going to test it now. I have my doubts, but once this cools down a bit, we'll plug it in. Fire Night Gamer Z6D. Hello, how are you? How's it going, man? Doing good? That's good to hear. Instagram comments are absolute cinema. Dude, somebody dumped speaking of Instagram comments, somebody went to my comment section with an AI and it dumped like all its logs into my Instagram section. Like all everything of what it's doing. And it was all in Polish too. Which is strange. Like really weird. It's gonna be either really good or really bad. I don't know. Probably doesn't work. I will release the Instagram probably sometime in the near future. So, yeah, it doesn't work. But I'm wondering if that's because it's touching the housing. Or the wire ends are touching the housing, which would ground it, and I think that would create a problem. Which is what I'm trying to check for. Should not be touching the housing. It looks like in some places it is, actually. So there's your mistake. Don't do that. Don't do what I did. Huh. Let me see. I'll try that again. I doubt that it will work. It's fine. This is like not really important. That's probably because it's soldered to the housing there. All right. See you later, Andre. Again, it was a good attempt. How would I get this off? No, not trying. I think that was a good first round. I'll probably slice the tops off and try again, which is totally fine. We have a lot of cable here. Look, I mean, look at this. We got tons of cable that we can reuse and do. Reuse and do another cable. I got some wire cutters too, so we can get this stuff all off. Actually, no, not these. But these wire cutters and strippers. I'm gonna probably chop this off here. There we go. This was a good first attempt. Uh, Problems with this though. There's the way I soldered them, and there's also the way that these wires, right? I need to cover them up in a more effective manner individually. So I need to like undo them, everything, and I'll probably do that on a different stream. So like these should be like this. I'll see you later. I'll keep those for now. But we can return back to our cable, get this unbraided, do new attempt. All right, guys. Thank you for coming out. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate the support. Didn't happen to go our way at the end, but I think it was insightful nonetheless. And I'll be trying to keep those things in mind. So thank you. Streaming later? Yes, I will. I will be. Probably Red Dead. Probably Red Dead Redemption. But yeah, this is pretty easy to sort of like undo. I have all the wire ends here. So yeah, it was really good actually. I liked doing this. I like talking to you guys. Anyways,